afternoon, everyone. My name is Polly, and I'm the Education Outreach Coordinator for the Indiana Geological and Water Survey. It's been a few days since we've posted anything, and that's because we've been moving back to our old home, the geology building on the campus of Indiana University Bloomington. If you didn't know, we've been having a renovation for the past 2 years, and I'd love to invite you inside and see some of the new renovated spaces since we're moving back in. Well, here we are on the Bloomington campus. One of the things I miss the most about working from home is being on campus, and so I'm very excited to be moving back in here soon. So this is our building. We're located on 10th Street. Our address is 101 East 10th Street. One big change from the exterior is this new accessible sidewalk here. Before, the accessible entry to the building was actually through the loading dock in the back, which was not conducive to all of our visitors. So we've put in an accessible entry. It goes up to the original entry of the building. Let's go inside and see what's new. All right. From here you can see there's still the same display case. And I'll slow down so you don't get too dizzy from turning around. And here is the original placard from when this building was built. Now, the Geological Survey has been around since 1837 in the state of Indiana. And our original offices were located in New Harmony. Later on, we moved up to Indianapolis. But since 1901, we have been on the campus of Indiana University here in Bloomington. Originally, we were in the what's called the Owen Building, which is over in the Old Crescent part of campus. But since 1964, we have been located in this building, with the exception of the past 2 years when we were off campus in a temporary facility while this building was being renovated. So we're going to go inside the lobby now. Okay, we've just entered into the lobby. If you're familiar with our building, much of this will look the same, but I'm going to point out a couple of exciting new changes. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, here's where you used to enter. That's now strictly a loading dock facility. Our same elevator. This entry right here is completely new. They actually removed this portion of the wall, and to go over to our neighbors, the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, you now go around the elevator shaft and over to their side of the building. That way you don't have to actually walk around the departments, our loading dock area. So we'll go back over here into our lobby space. So this entry is new, and this right here is where the hallway to our bookstore used to be. If you ever visited our building and you went to our bookstore, there were also some offices. This is now our brand new administrative suite. So if you come and you want to meet with our director or any of our assistant directors, you'll enter into this area. There's also some new conference rooms so that they can collaborate with the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences. One of the things I'm very excited about in this lobby space are these display cases. If you visit us before, you might remember the old dioramas that were in there. This one, for example, had limestone quarry workers. This one had a coal mine little diorama. Those pieces have been removed and preserved, and we're still going to display them from time to time. But the new plan is to change these exhibits at least twice a year so that we can showcase more of our collections and tell the story of Indiana geology, because there's a lot to tell. So these display cabinets now have new lighting in them, and we will be changing their content out. The first exhibit will debut with the start of the fall semester later this year. Okay. In the comments, if you have any suggestions for themes of exhibits that you'd like to see, I'd love to hear them. We're already working on the first exhibit for this fall, but if there's anything you'd like to see in other exhibits, let me know. Okay. There we go. All right. The rest of the lobby is fairly unchanged. You can see just new lighting in the exhibits. We'll have changing themes in those, the new administration lobby, and then this brand new entry. The stone that was removed from this portion has been salvaged. We actually have pieces of this stone in what's called the Patton Building Stone Collection. It's one of our collections within the education collection, and it was donated by one of our former state geologists, John Patton. This particular limestone is really, really beautiful, and we're going to start to feature some little text panels about some of the building stone in this building. We have quite a lot of really unique building stones, so we're going to start to talk about that if you enter our building. So another new thing that we have here, down this hallway, which used to just be offices and the petroleum records room, we now have a new exciting addition called the Learning Lab. So we're going to walk down here and check it out. Okay. This space, if you were familiar with the building before the renovation, was the petroleum records room. There were lots of filing cabinets holding gamma logs and other parts of the petroleum records database. All of that has been digitized, and so people can still come to access the original physical files in our archival reading room space that we'll have set up. But because most of it is digitized, we didn't need this giant space for those records anymore. They're going to be stored together with the rest of our paper archives. So this is now going to become our new learning facility. It's going to be a collections-based hands-on learning facility called the Learning Lab. Right now, it's still got all of the boxes that we have to unpack, but it's a huge space that will be able to welcome classes of kids coming on field trips, scout groups, master naturalist classes, families, pretty much anybody who wants to come and see our collections. This will be the home of the education collection. Right now we're going to use these range cases, and they will be filled with specimens. Right now this is some of our oversized specimens are sitting on top from where we moved them, but a lot of these you might never have seen before. And so we're going to have an open storage where you can come and actually open up all of these drawers and see the specimens from our education collection. There are about 3,000 fossils, minerals, and rocks in our education collection, and this will be the home of those, as well as a space for educational programs and some data visualization and exhibits as well. I'm going to show you some of the oversized specimens that we have sitting here. So we still have a lot of unpacking to do. How do you move 3,000 rocks? Pretty slowly and with lots and lots of bubble wrap. Okay. But a lot of our beautiful minerals, for example, really pristine quartz specimen. Here's a big calcite. Here's a dogtooth calcite. This big slab of a death assemblage with Mississippian crinoids, a couple of horn corals. All of these will not only be on display where you can see them, but you'll also be able to interact with them with microscopes. You can hold them in your hands, you can look at them up close. Okay. So this whole big space is now going to become our learning lab. Of course, there are many other changes that have been made in the upper floors. That's where all of our researchers are going to be located. The research labs are on top of where the learning lab is. So this same area, just on the floors above us, are now research labs. And all of those segregated spaces that used to be there have now been opened up, just like the learning lab. So you can see how much space there is here. That's how all of the labs are on the floors above me, which will allow our researchers to collaborate much more rather than being separated into these separate rooms like it used to be in the original 1960s design. So maybe on a future live, I might do a a tour of some of our research labs. They're still getting some of that set up, but they've got new spiffy lab tables and fume hoods and all these things, and I can take you on a tour of those maybe in a week or two once they have it a little bit more set up. All right. So a new entry, new exhibits coming in the lobby, and a hands-on learning space called the Learning Lab, all on the first floor of our renovated geology building. All right, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and I'll be sure to answer them. If you think of something later, just put it in the chat of this video and I will be happy to answer it. But thanks for watching and seeing our new renovated space. I can't wait to welcome you all here soon. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.